You've always wanted to be in a movie, huh? Well, you've got your chance now. Welcome into My State of Mind. I am Dan York. Yes, next week on the 16th and 17th of December, you have a chance to be an extra in this incredible production on Vinny Paz's life story. It's called Bleed for This, and the three-time world champion is here tonight along with his Oscar-winning producer to talk about next week, the movie, the plan, the story, all of that. So stay tuned. In the meantime, let us run to the rundown and talk about some things that are happening in the world. Yeah, it seems like America has won. And then there was another hearing where the guy who called us stupid said, "So sorry for doing that." And then the governor changed her mind for a good reason, I think. What else do we have for you? Well, this is discussion of middle class that the governor brought up today. Governor-elect, I should say. I keep forgetting that we still have one that's exiting stage left. But I have a quarrel with what she had to say. Big meeting in Providence tomorrow on that roadmap RI thing, and people are just starting to get a feel for what that's all about. Of course, we want to check in with your state of mind. So much to do and so little time to do it. Digging into item number one. Yeah, it seems like we have one. Here's the headline out of the New York Times. Political divide about the CIA torture remains after Senate report is released. Yeah, this was some interesting little exercise that the Senate provided for us yesterday. Democrats, of course. The chairperson, Dianne Feinstein, decided that she just had to let this thing go.
Georgia's Saxby Chambliss.
That's an awful lot of actionable intelligence collected under the CIA program that this study tries to quietly sweep under the carpet.
Arizona Republican John McCain, who was tortured for years as a POW in Vietnam, saw things differently.
I know from personal experience that the abuse of prisoners will produce more bad than good intelligence.
The report says the CIA kept Washington in the dark.
And of course, there are the others from the CIA that say, no, not really. In fact, how come no one came to see us to actually talk about this? Former CIA directors have said that some of the stuff that's chronicled, albeit brutal, in this report helped to get Osama bin Laden in indirect ways, and so the debate will continue. It does feel like a psychological dump, though, on the world, doesn't it? Look, we're falling on the sword, but it's one administration throwing another administration under the bus because the torture that's chronicled in this report no longer happens. This is not one America, it seems to me, in this particular data dump, speaking of grand juries and now Senate reports, but kind of a political mess wound into a worldwide responsibility. I think it hurts our security, and I do think that although we want to be transparent in America today, we've got some questions to answer for those fellow allies who offer security, intelligence, and the like. It's a mess. Gee, Washington created a mess. Can you believe that? Next item. So sorry, stupid. We're stupid. We were called stupid. Remember Jonathan Gruber when he said we were all stupid? This is the MIT brilliant dude. Here's the headline on CNN.com. He's embarrassed about it. And while the Senate was dumping its psychological stuff regarding torture on us, there was a hearing going on as well, and Mr. Gruber was getting his fanny kicked in by Democrats in the White House who threw him under the bus and Republicans who just saw red meat.
I'd like to begin by apologizing sincerely for the
MIT professor Jonathan Gruber repeatedly said he was sorry for what he called thoughtless and insulting comments.
lack of transparency is a huge political advantage. And basically, call it the stupidity of the American voter or whatever. But basically, that was really, really critical to getting the thing to pass. I made uninformed and glib comments.
Gruber said that in several speeches, he pretended to be more of a political insider than he was at the time.
It's never appropriate to make oneself seem more important or smarter by demeaning others.
Don't you feel like he was called into the principal's office? Now, say it right, Jonathan. You're not supposed to demean others. This guy was speaking candidly while he was being videoed in various events because he was speaking as an expert. What he said, I'm guessing he meant. Now he's mea culpaing in a world record way. He's been professionally emasculated. It just goes to show you, you get in the guillotine of Washington, you don't have a chance to take your head out. We'll see. Hope the guy gets a job. All right, next item, coming home, the governor-elect has changed her mind. Here's the headline in the Providence Journal. She decides to open up an economic summit to the media. Very nice, Gina Raimondo. Way to go. Good thinking. She originally had decided that she was going to invite thought leaders, that's what she calls them, thought leaders, into her transition chamber, if you will, on, well, I think it's Wednesday of next week on the 16th. 80 people who've been selected to thought lead, but those people would be thinking out loud in private, and there would be no reporters, there'd be no media. Well, I know I roundly criticized that idea both on television and radio yesterday, and I'm sure others did. And you know what? The Raimondo transition camp rethought it and said, you know what? We're going to start with transparency, not without it, and we'll open it up to the media. Very good, because you know what? No idea that you have to move the state forward needs to be offered in confidence. If there are meetings to execute plans and business models that need to be held in confidence, you can do that. But you don't make your first big, hey, what do you think event a private one. So revisiting that shows leadership. Changing your mind is leadership sometimes, and the governor-elect has showed that. However, moving on to item number 2, she's probably 2 out of 3 with me today, which is not so bad, I guess. Here's the headline at WPRO.com. There was an event today, I believe at CCRI, where Gina Raimondo announced an advance of a plan that already exists. This is about the 529 College Bound Fund. Right now, parents can exercise having $100 dropped into an account for their brand new baby by filling out voluminous paperwork. Well, now, as you get your discharge papers and you leave the hospital, you can just make an X on one piece of paper and say, yeah, I want that, and the money will be deposited, thus starting the fund without a lot of thinking and not a lot of work about it. I think that's a terrific idea, and I give the governor-elect, who, by the way, is still the treasurer, thumbs up. So she's for 2 until she said this.
You know, a lot of kids say, well, I'm not college material, I'm not going to go on past high school. Well, yes, you are. You are, because you deserve a chance, you deserve a middle-class job, and we're going to start you off when you're a baby, and we're going to get you where you need to be, because you deserve a chance to have a good job in Rhode Island.
This notion that you deserve a job is ridiculous. You have to work for a job. Ask Vinny Paz. When he got, nobody gave Vinny Paz a world championship, now, did they? Second is the notion that the middle class keeps being invoked by this governor-elect. Gina, advice to you. You're no longer running a campaign. Stop with the middle class rhetoric. I don't get up in the morning and ask what class I'm in. You don't get up in the morning and ask yourself what class you're in. And by the way, aspiring to the middle class, whatever you want to define that, economically, psychographically, demographically, whatever, is not where we need to be in order to win. We need to aspire to excellence. So please knock off the nauseating campaign rhetoric and start leading and start being yourself. We expect that. All right, let's take a look at what this whole big meeting is about tomorrow. This is 9 a.m. We have the information on this handy or something like that, or we've got, here we go. Thank you, Steve. Tomorrow at 9 a.m. In the administration building across from the Capitol, there's a big planning decision as to whether or not we're going to embark on this Roadmap RI thing. I had a debate about it last week. It looked a little bit like this.
Existing neighborhoods are being demolished, literally demolished, because they're single-family homes. Single-family homes are the enemy. It is true. We've done the research.
I just talked to a friend of mine who's involved in this.
In order to build smaller units and
he said there
smart
will not be
growth
one home demolished. There will not be one neighborhood demolished.
Well, then maybe the people have spoken up, and because we know in San Francisco, the left and the right got together to stop the planners from doing this, and maybe they have.
That's Mike Stenhouse speaking there from the Rhode Island Center for Freedom and Prosperity. Scott Wolf is the other guy from Grow Smart Rhode Island. They disagree on this plan. If you want context, go to the meeting tomorrow, because there's a whole big future of Rhode Island seemingly at stake. All right, your state of mind is important to us. What you have to say matters, and everyone likes to hear it anyway. Voicemail, 228-1886. Email, Facebook post, tweet at us. We have a Facebook post here. And this is Michelle talking about that debate that you saw a clip of. She wanted it to be 2 hours. Well, the show is only a half an hour. But there's plenty of net material out there on the web that you can look at in terms of the pros and cons. Just Google Roadmap RI and you'll be reading all night. Vinny Paz and his award-winning producer, and a big project and a chance for you to get into movies next. So there's a couple things I've always wanted to do. Get on a jury. No one lets me on a jury. Maybe I'll get in a movie. I mean, here's some of the information about that, and then we're going to talk. I mean, bleed for this. Everyone's talking about this movie. You wish it'd come out next month, but they're still shooting it. In fact, you can be involved in the shooting, and Vinny Paz's story is one that a lot of us think we know, but I'm sure there'll be details that we don't. Here's a part of the trailer.
Dr. Carter had a tear in his eye, and he said, "Son, I'm sorry to say you're not going to box again." I said, "No, Dr. Carter, you're wrong. I am going to box again." He said, "You don't understand what kind of man I am."
Nothing is going to stand in Vinny's way. I'm going to get there. Mark, it kills me no matter how I try. What happens? I'm going to get there. I'm going to do it now.
It's just, what a history. All right, what do you got? A little coffee? You all right?
It's just a little coffee because I got to be charged to talk to you, Dan.
Did you save that apparatus? Did you just for ha-has one day just throw it on and say, hey, we're going to remember the day?
That's pretty funny you say that because I just recently, it'd be pretty cool if I could get the original Halo back.
Yeah.
And I've been checking in places. I can't find one, but I'm sure it might pop up somewhere.
That was what year?
1991.
Yeah.
I won. And the only reason why I know it is because, I just thought I was champion of the world again, and that's it. My life was complete. I won the world title. They called it October Fist. It was really October 1st, but 1991. And they called it October Fist, and it was 1991. I beat Gilbert Delay, and I just thought I had it down now, and I was fighting the best of my life at that time.
Feel like yesterday or a long time ago?
It feels like not as long as it was. It don't feel like yesterday, but it don't feel 20 years back. You know what I mean? You know, Dan, how time flies.
I know.
You know that.
Well, once
I always say to
hit
people,
50,
absolutely. No, once you hit 30, once I hit 30, I thought I was done.
Right.
I thought I was done. I'm never going to pick up another chick in my life. I'm 30 years old. It's over. But it's wrong. I was wrong.
Well, there's no doubt you've picked up chicks since then.
Right? I've had a couple. I've had a few.
Congratulations on the movie. You've always wanted this.
It's really neat. It's awesome. And to me, like I wanted the movie to be told because it would inspire a lot of people. But now with the people that are doing it, I just can't even believe it. I'm besides myself. We're here with Bruce Cohen. He's phenomenal. He's unbelievable. Ben Younger, unbelievable. Martin Scorsese, unbelievable. We got Katie Seagal. Miles Teller is going to be the bomb. He's going to be Vinny Paz, look-alike. He's just, I can't even believe how it's going. It's just incredible. I feel lucky and privileged that these guys are doing it. And of course, Chad Verdi brought this all together.
And you seemingly are intimately involved in the production, at least the promotion of the production, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I told them, I said, use me, guys. I'm good advertisement for you. And everything's going to work out. It just looks like everything's coming together.
How did it start? I mean, I know you've always kind of wanted to have your life chronicled this way, and you're one of these unique characters. You ask for the promotion. I guess you have to ask.
You want to laugh. You want to laugh.
Yeah.
And Bruce, you're going to laugh at this. I originally thought Tom Cruise was going to play me, and I was going to be on the set going, Cruise, I don't act like that. But Miles Teller is the bomb.
What do you think? You look like Maverick? I mean, what are you, Top Gun?
No, just because I thought it was such a great story. And Tom Cruise at that time, that was 20 years ago.
Back then.
Back then.
I know.
You know what I mean, Bruce?
Yes.
It's so funny.
When Bruce comes on, you can talk to him. He's not on the show yet. God almighty. You're always out of control. In a
little bit, in a fun way.
But how did it come together in your mind?
Chad Verdi
What's your
just
version
made
of the
it
story?
happen. My version of the story is because I'm the maniac boxer that I am. My life's crazy and out of control. When you win 5 world titles and you retire with 50 wins as a professional fighter, you're a little crazy. You know what I mean? You're not normal. And I do not normal things in life, and it's caught up with me. So Chad Verdi bought the story from me and just took it to where it is now.
When they buy the story from you, that means what?
That means pay me to you own my life rights. Which I'm half an idiot, which I already know, but at least I know and I'm aware of it. But it's because my life's always a little out of control, Dan.
Why so self-deprecating?
People people don't say it to me like that because you're a smart dude. People don't say it to me like that, but they say to me similar to that, and I just tell them, look what I did. Look what I did. Who's gonna go out there and win 50 professional fights? Who's gonna go out there and win 5 world titles? Who's gonna break their neck and come back and want to box again? Who does that? You know, me.
And who wants to make a movie about him? We'll meet the producer, the Oscar-winning producer, next.
Hey, I'm Miles Keller, and I'm currently on the set of Bleed for This, and we are filming at the Dunk Center next Tuesday and Wednesday, December 16th and 17th. And it's a big fight scene. You know, it's telling the story of Vinny Paz here, and they're big fights, and we need a lot of extras to come out and show support. We could really use kind of the energy of the city, and it really helps us out a lot. So if you guys can, please just go to the sign up. It's on our Facebook at Bleed for This. And hopefully we'll see you there.
Well, there you go. There's the instruction. And if you ever wondered if those people are real in fight scenes and the like, guess what? You might be one of them, right, Bruce?
Absolutely.
Welcome. Bruce Cohen is one of the producers of this movie and an Oscar winner, and so it's great to have you.
It's great to be here.
We're big time in today, right, Vinny?
Yeah, we got Vinny Paz here.
We've got all sorts of stuff going on. Some clinical stuff first in terms of how people actually can get involved in this. The promo trailer tells us what, but you really want a whole slew of folks down at the Dunk next week, right?
We really want a crowd. We're doing 2 boxing matches, both at the Dunk Center. Tuesday, December 16th, we're doing the Paz Delay fight, which actually did take place at the Dunk Center in '91, as we heard. And then on Wednesday, the 17th, we're doing the Paz Duran fight, which, don't tell anyone, did not take place at the Dunk Center. That was in Vegas, but we'll be faking it. So we need huge crowds. And as Miles said, you know, it'll really help with the energy and the excitement to have as many people there as possible. So if you go to the Bleed for This Facebook page, you can sign up, and we'd love to have you Tuesday or Wednesday.
The Duran was a mean.
Yeah, mean guy.
Mean.
Yeah,
guy.
It's why I liked him. I liked him and Ali when I was a kid growing up.
Yeah.
Who'd ever think I'd grow up to fight him?
I went to the first Leonard Duran fight in Montreal.
Did you?
I did. I got some stories,
That's
but
awesome.
I can't tell you on the set. You bring a level of gravitas to the pre-reputation of this movie. Martin Scorsese being involved in it as well. I mean, this ain't some B production that we're putting together here, is it?
No, it's not, and it's a combination of 2 things. It's Vinny's story, which, as you heard, Chad Verdi found and saw could be a great movie and tried to start making it into a film, and then combined with this incredible script that Ben Younger wrote. And it's the script that got Marty Scorsese to say, I'm in. And remember, Marty Scorsese did Raging Bull, so for him to want to be a part of another boxing movie, it's really got to be something. And it's what brought me in as well. I got the call of, will you read a script that's being executive produced by Martin Scorsese? So I was like, you had me at Marty, absolutely. Right. Then I read the script, and by the time I got to the last page, I felt I have to be involved with this. I have to be one of the producers of this movie.
Do you know, I mean, you're involved in so many movies. American Beauty it's been a while now. That thing has been around a while. Yep. Silver Linings Playbook, which I think is one of the most intellectual. I'm not a big movie buff, but when I watched it, I thought, my God, it was such a high-level conversation. Do you know, really, in your gut, how good something's going to be at concept?
You never know for sure. Things can go horribly wrong in a lot of different ways. But I've been very fortunate to get to work on some of these beautiful films. And so what I look for now is I look for a script that, in my opinion, has at least the potential, because the script is that good, to be as good as some of these films. And if I don't respond to the script the way that I responded to Silver Linings Playbook or Milk or Big Fish or American Beauty, then I feel like life's too short to get involved. And Bleed for This was one of those scripts that I felt that strongly about when I read it.
I'm lucky enough to have these guys stay for an additional taping of a program, and I'll tell you in the next segment when that will air, so you can hear a lengthier conversation about what it's like to produce a movie and all that kind of stuff. What's it like hanging around with this guy?
Well, Vinny's amazing. He's a legend for good reason. And to get to make a film about someone that's had such an extraordinary story and is that special, and then to get to hang out with them, get to know them, to get to be a friend of theirs, and to have them part of the process, that's so special, and it doesn't happen a lot, and we all feel so fortunate that he's here with us, and he's come to the set, and he's gotten to know Miles, and he's gotten to be a part of the whole production.
Such a unique character he is, though, because he's warts and all, isn't he? I mean,
he's
just look, and this is why I'm screwing up, and you know, but I'm doing something. It's a success story and an evaluation that he's doing all the time on himself. He's one of the most unique characters I'm sure you've ever worked with.
Absolutely,
yes?
and
we're talking about you, by the way. Do you mind?
And you know, great movies are about those kind of characters that have it all. You know, you don't want to see a movie about some saint or angel, whitewashed, boring person who's a hero. So that's not Vinny.
Right.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool, Dan.
You're enjoying the entire process tremendously.
Yeah, it's simply awesome, and I'm so lucky to have like a guy like this next to me.
Do you feel an anxiety about the time between now and the time it's released, which will be when?
We don't know. Could come out in 2015, maybe in 2016. It depends on how long we take the movie to put together, and then we have to go out and sell it in the marketplace.
Are you calm?
Yes, I'm always calm.
Are you not seriously?
I'm always out of control, but I always am calm.
You're calm about it.
I'm really easygoing.
Are you enjoying the process?
Sure.
You are.
Yeah.
Because you got to enjoy the process.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's all, you only have the moment.
All right.
It's a good comment.
We're going to have a further conversation about this at a later date that I'll tell you about when we come back. But I remind you, it's next week, 16th and 17th. You can come on down. And by the way, there's hors d'oeuvres or drinks or something. There'll be donuts at least. You know,
you don't have to bring presents.
You'll get something.
The 16th is my birthday. Don't anybody bring me a present.
Yeah.
The dare is on.
Anybody bring a present.
The dare is on.
One more thing, and we come back. Stay with us.
I'll be 42.
A more in-depth follow-up conversation on the movie will take place on Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That's a Monday, which is a good viewership night for us and for you, and so make a note of that. Tomorrow night, I'm skipping out in a pre-recorded program that we have done. We're going to take a very special look at an art community that, you know, sometimes a lot of people don't pay attention to. And I'll leave it for you to see tomorrow night. Of course, I'll see you on the radio tomorrow at noon. We'll have an update on that Roadmap RI thing and the world of news of the day. We'll see you at noon on WPRO tomorrow until 3. Good night. Thanks for watching.